We've seen some amazing things, but that, my friends, is something we've never seen.
Brandon Cruz Month's Advice.
Brandon Cruz Month's Advice.
Brandon Month's Advice.
Brandon Cruz Month's Advice. You just locked yourself into the playoffs.
Nice.
Got it.
Talk with old Brandon Cruz Month's Advice.
Completely speechless, to say the least.
Man, I am honestly so baffled by that decision. Brandon Cruz Month's Advice. It's Brandon Month's Advice.
Green flag in the air. Brandon Cruz Month's Advice to the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Brandon Curry's Daily Fantasy Podcast brought to you in association with Burnout Avenue. Burnout Avenue, your motorsports headquarters. As always, Zach and Josh over there do a great race review and discussion every Monday evening, posted on Podbean and iTunes. Go check those guys out. BurnoutAvenue.com is where I end up posting all of my articles, including this one that you will find in the description tomorrow morning, or at least in the morning, because I'm recording this at midnight right now, and I'm about to send them the article, so that'll be up. I'll put that in the description as soon as it's up. And then also today, if you're watching this on the 30th of September, on Checkered Flag Interactive at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 2001 Talladega EA 500 throwback race on iRacing service will be broadcast right there. I'll be racing in that in the number 20 car, representing Tony Stewart. Go check that out, guys. I got a lot to discuss in this Xfinity video, but I'm going to try and get through it relatively fast just so you guys can watch it before the race tomorrow. So, first off, let's just talk about qualifying for the Cup Series. I'm doing a good job at not cursing in a lot of these videos. I think I've made it 3 so far without having a curse word. I'm gonna break that right here, only because that qualifying session was absolutely a fucking shit show. We need to do something about that qualifying, because that is just that's just no bueno, dude. That is terrible. I mean, it was so laughable. I'll rant about it more in the Cup Series, but that was absolutely incredible. So I don't know what we're gonna do for the Cup Series there, but for the Xfinity Series, this is what I'm looking at. Like, I'm expecting more of a wreckfest than usual this weekend, just because Texas is a one-groove racetrack. I don't expect it to be very clean. Actually, I expect at least like 10 cars to DNF, maybe more in this race. Not like a huge wreckfest like Daytona, but certainly more than we are used to in this series. And it's easily a double punt for me and many other people that I've actually ended up listening to, like Race for the Prize and a couple others on YouTube that have just talked about what they see in this upcoming Xfinity race, and I certainly agree with them there. I think Kyle Busch obviously has the best car, and a little bit of preface here, or at least a little bit of a description of what I do. I play more GPP, more risky players, guys. Like, I'm not the guy you want to listen to if you're playing cash games. I'm not the type of guy that you're like wanting to like have to know where the chalk is and all that. I just worry about like low-owned guys, low-owned people that guys aren't going to be owned, or that like you're forced to use if you're using really expensive people. And I mean, like, I like people like Vinnie Miller, Joey Gaze, Chad Fitcham, those types of guys in these situations. Not like the I mean, the chalk tomorrow is obviously going to be Kaz Gralla, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Jeb Burton. I mean, all those guys. You don't need me to tell you that those guys are going to be highly owned, and that's not what I'm doing. I always just look at low-owned guys. So let me look at, like I said, I don't know when the article is going to be up for Burnout Avenue, so I'm just going to go over the guys I'm looking at right now. For cheap guys, like I really like Timmy Hill, 34th in the first practice, 32nd in the second practice, but he's going to run the full race in that 13 car. I have no problem with him. Joey Gaze, 30th in both practices. Chad Fincham, 29th fastest in the first practice. He didn't run a lap in the second practice. And then Greg Galding, 25th in both practices. I am a fan of all 4 of those guys. Jeb Burton is in the number 8 Junior Motorsports car, and he is only $5,800, so he's going to be another Angelina Ruck situation where he is just way too cheap to pass on him. I think you need him regardless of where he finishes. For $5,800, he could start 13th and finish 11th and be a fantastic play. I don't really have a whole lot to really talk about because, as I've learned over the course of last year and this year, typically, unlike the Trucks and Cup Series, where people qualify in the Xfinity Series is usually where they end up finishing. I mean, it's really, really difficult to find good punts. I mean, people still do it. It just I don't really put a lot of my effort towards this. It's typically towards the trucks, which I end up cashing in. I had Angelina Rutt and in one lineup, and I cashed pretty well on that. And then another one I had Gus Dean, her, the 54 car, and all them. So a little bit of a hit and miss in the truck series. But guys, please, if you're listening at this, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of my other videos. Like, I need to know. I would want feedback. I don't know what you guys want, what you guys are like looking for out of this. Like, please let me know. I'll do my best to get to that. Back to these races. I as some quote unquote low owned long shots. I really like Chase Briscoe. He's been qualifying pretty bad, and he's been at a price where not a lot of people have been using Chase Briscoe, at least not the vast majority that I would expect. Brandon Brown is also a fairly decent play. John Hunter Nemechek is also good unless he fucking crashes or something. And Keselowski's going to be really popular tomorrow, and I haven't checked the prices or anything, so I don't know if you can do this, but I'd like to see if I can get Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, and Justin Allgaier in a lineup. I like Justin Allgaier just because he's so darn consistent, and not a lot of people can afford Justin Allgaier when you're paying for Kyle Busch, when you're paying for Keselowski, when you're paying for Christopher Bell. All these top plays, it's really hard to find punts and all that, which is, like I said, I wasn't even sure if I was going to make this video because the Xfinity Series relies so heavily on qualifying position. It's ridiculous. Like the Truck Series, like my article said, granted I had 3 out of the 5 punts that I listed in rec, but it's easier in the Truck and Cups to talk about it pre-qualifying. The Xfinity Series, you have to wait until qualifying is over before you can even find good plays. So that's why this one's probably only going to be like 8 minutes, guys. Because I've already talked about the guys I'm looking at. Yet again, let me go through the list of just people that I like. It's obviously Kyle Busch to win. I like Kaz Grala, Keselowski, Allgaier, Jeb Burton, John Hunter Nemechek, Chase Briscoe, Brandon Brown, Greg Alding, Chad Fitcham, Timmy Hill. I mean, those are the guys I'm going to be looking at. David Starr, if he qualifies close to the end, I like him as well. The Cup video is going to be way longer than this. I just want to give you my views and drivers that I figure that are going to be good right now. I mean, this is 12 hours before qualifying. I have no idea how that's going to go. We have to see how qualifying goes to find good punts and good plays. So just best of luck, guys. Use your heads. Tweet at me. Comment on this after qualifying. I am here to help you guys out. I'll be making my lineups right after that. So thank you guys for listening so much, and you guys have a fantastic day. Cup video will be up later today, so just stay tuned for that. I'll have way more detail as I did for my truck video and all that. Just the Xfinity ones, man, it's so difficult, and it's not even worth looking at like practice speeds and all that, because you just have to see where people qualify way more than the other 2 series. So thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it.